Hello, my name is John Jarbo and I'm a Technical Marketing Manager at Sencha. Sencha Test is the most comprehensive unit and end-to-end functional testing solution for XJS apps, helping you build a complete testing plan without having to cobble together and maintain testing tools yourself. Today we're going to talk about using Sencha Test with a continuous integration server such as Jenkins, and how that can help you to improve your team's productivity when developing or testing XJS applications. Unlike running tests in Sencha Studio, running tests unattended requires a few extra pieces before everything works smoothly. You need an existing project and application server, of course, and you need a WebDriver farm upon which the tests will be run. Other videos in this series explain how to set those up if you need help. For simplicity, this video will focus on setting things up in Jenkins, but the same approach can be used with any system that can invoke command line tools. I'll also explain how to set up and use the archive server, which manages Sencha testing results. Since Jenkins will be running the command line utility under the covers, let's start by running that manually to verify that it's working correctly. I'm running Jenkins on a Linux machine, so let me switch to that screen. The command line utility is called STC for Sencha Test Command Line. It's packaged in a file called stc.zip, which is included with the Sencha Test installer. Note that it's not actually installed by the Sencha Test installer. It's available as a zip file inside the Sencha Test download. I've copied stc.zip to my Jenkins machine, and installation consists of unzipping it and setting the execute bit on the stc script. I already have node.js and Sencha command installed and on the path. To verify that it's working, in a temporary directory, I'll check out a copy of my project from my GitHub and use stc to run some tests. Since I don't keep XJS in my repo, I also need to run a little script, prebuild.sh, to pull in the appropriate version of XJS. With the project now ready for testing, I'll move into my application directory. You can see that it's a normal XJS app with the usual app.js and directory structure. To run the tests, I just invoke stc telling it to run tests from test-to-do suite using the WebDriver pool defined in the workspace. Some useful status is printed to the console. When we run under Jenkins, we won't have the luxury of a console to view the output. Information goes into the logs, of course, but we don't want to schlep through the Jenkins logs to understand testing status after each run. Instead, we'll set up Sencha's archive server, which will give us a convenient way to review testing status from our workstation. The archive server is actually part of the STC package, which we installed earlier. So let me move over into that directory. I'm going to create a small configuration file defining a bucket for the results. We'll use this later when we store results on the server and when we display them. In this case, I'll call the bucket e2e and put it in the archive e2e directory. Finally, I'll start the archive server. Since this is a simple test, I'll send the output to a log file. In production, you probably want more sophisticated log handling. Now we'll go back to our app and run the tests again. This time we'll send the results to the archive server to verify that it's working. Note that we're using the same e2e key that we defined in the configuration file. The archive server is running on the default port of 1903. Since there are no errors, I'll clean up the temp directory and we're ready to set things up in Jenkins. Now I'll create a job in Jenkins that mirrors what we just did from the command line. I'll create a freestyle project and call it Sencha Test Example. I'll use the Git integration to pull the code from GitHub, then add a step to run the shell commands. I need to run the prebuild script, then cd into the app directory and run the tests. To play a little better with Jenkins, I'm adding a few extra options when invoking STC. The -o options use an output format which Jenkins understands, and the -n option associates the results with the Jenkins build number. This gives you an easy way to correlate results in the archive server with jobs in Jenkins. Now, just save those steps and build the job. We can look at the console output as the tests run and see that it's very similar to what we saw when we ran the tests manually. All of these tests are succeeding, so things look good. In real-world projects, you often need to run a number of different test suites. We can add another suite to our Jenkins job, in this case our unit tests, using another call to STC. By passing the same build number, the archive server will know that these are from the same build and will bundle them into the same data packet on the server. Just run the tests and give them a little time to run, then I'll show you how to view the results. Note that this last build is build number 2. Pretty much everything I've shown to this point focuses on Jenkins housekeeping that developers and testers will not be doing on a day-to-day basis. Most of their time will be spent in their IDE or in Sencha Studio working with projects and tests. Depending on how you have things set up, You might watch Sencha Studio, or you might have Jenkins alert you when new test failures are detected. In any case, you'll use Sencha Studio to review testing results. Since we're using the archive server, those results can be reviewed with the same capabilities as tests run from Sencha Studio. You're not limited by the capabilities of your build server. This even works from simple cron scripts. When reviewing results, just open the shield icon toward the bottom of the window. This will show you archived results according to your workspace settings. My workspace is configured to use the archive server and path that we set up earlier, and refreshing the list gives us a list of available results. You may recall that we ran 3 sets of tests from the Jenkins machine, which correspond to these entries. We can open the results for build number 2, our most recent run, and see the nice concise matrix view of the results. Both the to-do and unit tests are represented in this view, and we can drill down into the results to understand exactly what failed. If you want to learn more about Sencha Test or view other how-to videos, please visit sencha.com. By automating your tests, your team can find and fix problems faster and more consistently, increasing development velocity while improving product quality. Sencha Test provides not only a deep testing platform for Sencha applications, but the ability to integrate with automated platforms that ensure your tests are run consistently and efficiently, leading to demonstrable benefits to end users and the business. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Be sure to check back soon for more videos about Sencha products, and visit sencha.com to find out how we can further support your development needs.